Hello there, welcome to the kitchen. I just finished a big grocery haul and I don't usually do these on my channel, but I was about to unpack my groceries and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go through this huge grocery shop because I always love watching these kind of videos. I love grocery hauls. And a lot of what I plan as far as planting in the garden also comes from what I buy at the grocery store. So I thought we would also do a little summer garden planning and just sort of talk through that process. If you are a new gardener and you're kind of trying to decide what to grow, this might be a way to approach that process. And then we're also just gonna do a grocery haul because I don't know why these are so interesting, but they are. So I went to Costco and Trader Joe's, two of my favorites. Since we moved out to California, it's sort of changed some of my grocery shopping, but those have been the two stores that I've been going to recently. Of course, the first thing I got was some coffee, and we are not coffee snobs in our house, especially my husband. He just likes like the good old, ground coffee. So I grabbed some coffee, that was first, and then let me get the next bag. So I also had to pick up a few flowers. Eventually, by the time we get into the summer, hopefully I'll be able to fill, I like to do like fresh flowers every week, at least out in our living room vase. And so we don't have any flowers big enough. We've got some violas out there in the garden, but nothing big enough to fill that. So I did just get a few hyacinths, and I thought, the blue is always pretty. And the nice thing about hyacinths too is that they're so fragrant. They smell so good. Oh my gosh, the camera's not even level. There we go. They just smell so good. So it's a great thing to add, to your spring table or something. Always like that. And then I finally had to buy some salad mix. So we've been doing really well. Probably the last month or so, I've had all of our salads from the garden, but it's starting to get hot now. And you know what happens once it starts getting hot, the lettuce just does not taste as good and it gets ready to bolt. So I think we're gonna be pretty much back to buying salad greens at the store, probably for the next, few months until we get back into the fall. Although I will definitely be doing a big fall lettuce garden. If you are not growing salad greens in the fall as part of your fall garden yet, definitely think about doing that because they're really, really great in the fall. And so then I also grabbed some just like a twin pack of a chopped salad just to make lunches easier because I have toddlers, so I need to have some easy lunches that are healthy for me. And then I got some cherry tomatoes. Yes, my girls will eat all of these cherry tomatoes. So if you're making your garden list, like for me, you see me plant tomatoes. Tomatoes are always on my list. Like I always try to grow as many tomatoes in the garden as possible because it actually offsets a little bit of, the grocery budget. These were like $6 or whatever, but it offsets it a little bit. So that's helpful. And something too that you can grow at home are strawberries. Now in this garden here at this house, I am not setting up a big strawberry garden. I do. When we move back to our forever home, I want to do a really big strawberry growing setup because you can get those ever-bearing strawberries and they will give you strawberries all season long and you'll actually get like a real harvest from them. So even if in a small space, you can do a decent amount of plants and then you can get a harvest. Like same with tomatoes. Those are two things that you can add those to your garden list of plants you want to grow in your garden, and they will actually make an impact on your grocery budget, on your grocery store trips. Lettuce too, when it's not summer, when it's not the heat of the summer, we've been eating our salads just totally out of the garden. And if I planned a little better and grown maybe some kales and some Swiss chards and stuff, I could actually continue to supplement those greens well into a little bit of warmer months. I really should. See, this is why I wanted to share this process, because as I'm going through my grocery shop, I'm thinking here, you know what, I should plant some Swiss chard because a lot of this lettuce are just greens for my husband's lunches. He does a wrap and he'll put greens in them. So something like a Swiss chard, while you might not want to eat a whole salad of Swiss chard is a little earthy and kind of has a spinach texture. It's just, I don't know. It's not something I would eat a whole salad of, but for adding to my husband's lunches, that's perfect. So these are things on my list. Obviously, of course, tomatoes, Wish I could grow strawberries, but then definitely Swiss chard. All right, so we're gonna add Swiss chard to the summer grow list. And then I had to get some grapes. I have 2 little toddler girls, 2 girls under 4. We eat so much fruit. I also got blueberries, which, again, even if you have a container garden, you can grow blueberries. I ended up giving my container blueberry plant to my mother-in-law when we moved, but it survived winter. And I was shocked last summer. I got a little harvest of blueberries. So I will definitely be growing blueberries again when we move back, because there's something that you can actually like grow and get a harvest. It's actually not as, I'm not gonna say it's not difficult, because everything can be tricky depending on your situation. But even if you don't have that acidic soil that blueberries like, you can grow them in a container. You can get the container specific plants. You can order online, look online and find a container specific blueberry plant, and then just use like a soil acidifier fertilizer. They'll have the dosage recommendations on the package, and you can grow them really healthy, happy blueberries in a container. Now, will you get this many blueberries a week all season long? No, but you know, you will get a seasonal harvest. All right, so now I better put my freezer food away. Let's see what I got in here. This was a big stock up trip. So I grabbed some cucumbers, another thing that you can grow in your garden, and I will definitely be adding cucumbers to my summer planting list. I like the salad bush cucumbers. I just like a real high productive, high yielding cucumber. It's also, cucumbers are great because there's something that you can direct sow. So even if you haven't added them, you know, if you haven't started seedlings for them yet, that doesn't matter. Just direct sow them, of course, after your last frost. So you're still good. And yeah, I mean, we eat so many cucumbers. These are like one of those staple vegetables. Eat them in salads, eat them raw, the kids snack on them. So we have to have cucumbers. And then I grabbed some half and half. I like half and half in my coffee, so I like a lot of it. So I always get the big jug of half and half from Costco. And the girls like some smoothies, so we've been getting these little like yogurt smoothies. They're kind of a lot of sugar, but the girls don't eat that much sugar, and I like to get just the probiotics and everything. And then I grabbed some ground beef and some sliced cheese just to have handy. It's always nice to have things like that. We had to get some of these chicken nuggets just for like the occasional, you know, easy night. The girls love these chicken nuggets. And if you like Chick-fil-A nuggets, you've probably seen these, but these honestly taste like basically the same. And then another thing that I got that I hopefully will be replacing with garden fresh option is some basil pesto. I do really like this basil pesto from Costco. It's pretty good, but I will be planting, again, adding to the adding to the planting list for summer. I am going to be planting a bunch of basil, whether I do it from seed, which honestly I'm kind of late on that, so I'll probably just get a bunch of starts from the garden center. But basil gets a bit bushy and huge. It's one of those herbs that you can start from seed. It grows pretty easily from seed, but you can also just do it from starts, and it grows pretty fast, gets pretty huge, and you can make a lot of your own pesto. You can freeze it. I hope to maybe make some more of my pesto and actually like have a little bit of a stock of my own stock of pesto for the summer. Now I will also show you at the end of this video, I have a bunch of a bunch of basil growing inside right now in my click and grow system, and I have been so happy with it. The basil tastes amazing. It is so healthy, and it's just growing really, really well. And that was super easy to do and really fun indoor growing. So I will show you what that looks like at the end of this video, because I've been loving it. And I don't know if I have quite enough basil growing in it for making pesto, but I've been adding it to all of my like Italian dinners and pastas and stuff, and it's been really nice to have, especially since the garden is not really operational yet. It's been really nice to have that basil inside. So this will be on the future grow list. Okay. The next bag, I got some ranch seasoning, which I know I should find a better alternative probably than this, but I do like to use ranch seasoning in some stuff. It just can be really handy. And then I got some baby carrots, which When I have a bigger garden, I will definitely try to grow more of our own carrots because I feel like this is an area where I could develop and actually grow some carrots for us to consume. I've never really gotten like a full big carrot harvest from containers, although I have grown carrots in containers and they do pretty well, and I feel like I could continue to work on that. So maybe this fall, winter, I'll try to do like a crop of carrots, but they're more of a cold weather crop, and the baby carrots are just easy for lunches. Another thing that down the line, someday, when I have my bigger garden and I have a more permanent gardening space, I will be growing asparagus. You will see me harvesting my own asparagus. I absolutely love asparagus. So asparagus on a sheet pan, olive oil, salt, pepper, poppy seeds, and paprika, roasted until it's nice and like golden, you know, crispy. Oh my gosh, it's so good. We've been eating so much asparagus. So hopefully someday I'll be able to just make a huge asparagus patch, and I would absolutely love that because asparagus is so delicious. Not for this current garden, but definitely for a future garden and something we eat. Like we eat this roasted asparagus all the time. Then we also grabbed some oranges, stocked up on oranges for the girls. Again, fruit. They eat so much fruit. I actually could get an orange tree here. Our neighbor has this enormous, gorgeous orange tree that I've just been loving looking at out the window. Now, I'm not going to be living here, sadly, long enough to have my own citrus trees, but like that would be the dream. That would be amazing. Maybe someday I'll have a greenhouse and I'll have a big citrus tree. And then let's see, I also grabbed, you know, a bottle of Prosecco because why not? This is just Kirkland brand Prosecco, but I feel like you always have to have a bottle of Prosecco on hand. I just have to have that in my fridge. Okay, next bag here. This was from Trader Joe's. I got some more flour. I've actually been baking all of our own bread and I've been really loving having just homemade bread, but I have to keep stocked up on flour for that. And then some dried fruit, just for the girls, some dried mangoes and the freeze-dried strawberries. They really like these for snacks and like in the car or when we're out and about. So that has been really nice. And then I did grab, as I said, this is like my once a month big stock up shop, and then we'll do more little shops throughout the month. But I also grabbed some broccoli. This was kind of trying to make my life a little bit easier this week so I can just like microwave this and have this ready for one meal this week. I think it's good to have some things like that are just easy. Now broccoli, another cool weather crop, so I could try to do this in the fall. I have not had success growing broccoli. I've actually grown it in Virginia, planted in the fall, and then it sprouted in the spring, but I didn't pick it soon enough, and so it actually ended up flowering. So maybe, again, maybe in the future, but right now I think I'm just gonna be purchasing my broccoli from the grocery store. Okay, we got a couple more bags. I did get more oranges, but they kind of last for a while. So more oranges and just a bunch of onions. I like the sweet onions. I feel like those are easy to cook with. And then I grabbed some work gloves too. I want to try to wear more gloves when I'm gardening. A lot of the times I don't wear gloves, but it really messes with your hands too. My hands are not super strong, and you get dirty obviously, but it's also just like, it's just hard on your hands. So I'm going to try to like put these out right in the garden shed and then hopefully have them like right there. Yeah, this was a big shop this morning. The girls were such troopers to come with me. I did get a couple boxes of applesauce. The girls love applesauce, especially my younger daughter eats so much of that. And I got a big thing of pasta too. You know, there are some things in my life that I aspire to do myself, but I don't know if I'll ever be making my own pasta. That one might be too much. More things. So I got some freeze-dried blueberries. Those are good. I got some sausage. We like to have like sausage with pasta or just with some roasted potatoes on the side. These are just some of our like easy meals that I like to do. I did grab some yellow squash, which is definitely another thing that I'm going to be trying to find space for this summer. Another thing you can direct sow. It's just a great like vegetable to add into everything. You know, I like I'll put it in with pasta, like into a tomato sauce. I'll cut it up really small so the girls hardly even notice. I will put it with other roasted vegetables. So you can make like zucchini breads and things like that. So once you get used to cooking with like zucchinis and eggplants and just adding them into everything, they're really a great thing to have growing in your garden. And you just get like a little bit more veggies, a little more vegetables. It's just a great thing. So I wanted to start buying some now, getting myself back into the habit of cooking with them. And as we get into the gardening season, hopefully I will have more zucchinis than I know what to do with, and I will be like freezing it and giving it to the neighbors and whatever. Oop. I got some olive oil spray. I got a little bit of plain yogurt for adding to smoothies. We love to have yogurt. I got some buttermilk. I made a cake 2 weekends ago for my sister-in-law's birthday, and I had leftover buttermilk from the cake, and I put it in my bread that I've been making at home, and it was so good. It just added like a little bit more taste. And so now instead of the water and the milk, or the water and the bread, I've been doing half buttermilk, and I really like it. So I decided to just get some more, kind of just add a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of protein, but mostly just like the flavor and everything really adds a lot. And then I also just got some milk for the girls to drink. And then just a couple more things. I got some shaved steak. I want to make some steak this week, and I figured that by getting it shaved, it would actually just be easier for me to serve to the girls because I wouldn't have to, I don't know, cut through the whole big steak. So we're going to come up with some kind of like potatoes and steak sort of meal. That's on the menu. And then I like to have like some coarse salt. So this is just a sea salt crystals, some dill pickles. I will be making refrigerator pickles come summer and when I have my cucumbers, and those are, I'll talk about those more. I think I might have done a video last year on them because I do love refrigerator pickles. If you aren't like wanting to do canning of any kind, you're a little nervous about all that, making refrigerator pickles is a nice way to do some preserving of sorts. They don't last super long, like a couple weeks in the fridge, but to kind of dip your toe into preserving. And they're really, really good. So if you have like a huge, cucumber harvest and you want to like just eat them in different ways, refrigerator pickles are a good way to go. But for now, we're just on regular pickles. And then I grabbed some cheese. This is just a Fontina cheese. I haven't had it before, but I feel like, in the evening, it's so hard. Like when you're sitting down in the evening, you watch TV, you want to have like a snack of something, but it's hard to find the right thing to have. I thought it'd be kind of nice to maybe have like some cheese. We could have bread or cheese or some of the fruit or some of the vegetables that we got for the girls. I'm really trying to make sure we're eating a lot of the fruits and vegetables because I feed that to the girls, but I also want to be eating it too. So I thought it'd be fun to have like kind of a cute cheese to go ahead and have during the week. So that is my grocery haul. Whew, that was a lot. Let me show you the basil in the Click and Grow first before we go. Oh, and I almost have my indoor tomatoes growing. Let me show you that. I have this little Click and Grow system. It's just a 3-cell system over here in the kitchen. And as you can see, there are some micro tomatoes on here and we're about to have flowers. So once they start flowering, I'll come in and shake them. And then hopefully they will flower and produce some little tomatoes right here in the kitchen. As I said, I've actually really, really loved this system. My daughter's cup. Sometimes when you see things like this, it's hard to tell, like, is it actually going to work? How well is it going to do? I'm loving it. I've even forgotten a few days to turn this light on, but the tomatoes have been doing really nicely. And I like having them on the counter here too, because it's just like a little piece of the garden inside. Right. And then out here, as you can see, I had a little bit of trouble with germination, so I had to re-sow a couple things. I got some more basil started and some more peppers, but aren't these peppers looking good? These are about to bloom too, and then I should have peppers inside. You can tell they're so healthy. They are so green. beautiful. And then the basil is looking amazing too. And I've harvested a ton of it. So it's kind of like, it was looking even more full and gorgeous, but I harvested a bunch this weekend for different recipes, but it's just doing beautifully. And it's so easy to stay on top of it. In here, like obviously I need to come in and water, because when this little tab goes down, you can tell that you need to water. So I do need to come in and water it, but otherwise this has just been like the easiest grow system, and I've been so happy. It's great. And look at all these guys. So actually I do have a discount code with them too, so it's linked in the description. But if you want to, you know, get some basil growing. Anyways, I just wanted to share that little haul and kind of like my thoughts through some of the things that I buy at the grocery store and how eventually, hopefully I'll have them growing in my garden, or this summer I'll have them growing in my garden with a small kind of container style garden like I have. I don't try to put too much pressure on myself that I'm going to be like producing everything that we need out of the garden or anything like that. I always kind of say that gardening for me is mostly for fun and the enjoyment of the process. But there are some things that you do actually get out of the garden, which is nice, and it does feel good. Like those weeks when you're getting all your lettuce from the garden, it's pretty cool. So just wanted to share that with you. And thank you as always so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.